Bobo C. Tiberius here with round 3 of a modern preliminary, and this is where the rubber hits the road. We're either doing pretty well here or pretty badly after this one. We do see a Lurrus from our opponent, and I just don't think 5 lands is appropriate. So we're going to mull that, unfortunately, and then we're left with a really difficult decision on the play. Going down to 5 against a deck that's going to generate a ton of value seems rough. But we do have a path in this hand. We do have a Serra. They're a Lurrus deck, so it's very likely they can kill a Serra pretty easily. But I think we have to keep this one, unfortunately. It is not great. We're going to send the Proc back because it's not very useful in the immediate game. So we're hoping we just have 3 lands on top. Or 2 lands and something else. If this is Lurrus Jund, discard spell hurts us pretty badly here. Inquisition is going to take the path, I would imagine. So looks like this is either Black-Red Prowess, but most likely another Jund deck, which seems to be the flavor of the moment. It's very good with Lurrus. I just realized how creepy Lurrus looks now that I'm kind of staring at it with the 4 eyes. I thought originally it was like, oh, it's so cute. No, it's kind of creepy. We're down to 4 cards in hand. Need a land pretty badly here, and we do not get it, so we will pass. Big sad. Big sad. Not looking like a game 1 we're going to win here. Bobble. They did tap for red, or thought they wanted to tap for red. Raging Ravine, so we do have a Jund deck. Seal of Fire comes down. We get our second land here. Unfortunately, not really much for us to do just yet. If we can dodge discard spells, we're not in too terrible of shape. We do have to eat that mana, unfortunately. Guess I didn't even really need to tap it that way. Could have just played the Flagstones and did the thing. Very pretty Nyx basic land there, and they will play the Lurrus. And now they're just going to generate a ton of card advantage because there's not much we can do about the Lurrus right now, unless we top deck a Path or a Winds of Abandon. Otherwise, there's not much we can do. We do get a Martyr here. So that's good. We like that because it allows us to start generating a life total. Also, Lurrus doesn't get any lifelink damage in. They're just going to have so many cards, though. It's going to be very tough for us to crawl out of this, especially if they're making us discard. I'm going to discard the Ballista. Just seems like a long time before Ballista gets relevant. And I kind of want to have Serra active at least so I have something. Would love to get a path here just to stop the Lurrus shenanigans and cast a Serra. They can use Lurrus to just slowly whittle me down with that Seal of Fire, which is extra annoying. Here's a Goyf, shiny Goyf. Yeah, just not a great start to this round, unfortunately. The Moles have been really putting our back against the wall with our deck today. There's a push. Yeah, they're just always going to have a removal spell based on how many cards they're drawing. Lurrus Bauble, man, that is it's a powerhouse thing. And here comes the Cruxa. I guess I'll get rid of the Ranger just because I'll get 3 mana before I get 4 mana. Oof. And they're going to get us down to 25 here, it looks like. Nope, making it 23. They're trying to end this one quickly, which is the way to go. The longer the game goes, the more I can draw, but not likely to draw my way out of this one, and then that's just kind of insult to injury. So we're just gonna concede here. We're really past. Nah. Why not? Make them kill me. Which they will probably do next turn. Not a great hand here. It kind of just makes the feel bads even worse against like this deck is abusing Lurrus so much. Like it just makes the feel bads worse when the hand was so bad. It's like, you know, not a very high win percentage regardless, but then here's your deck just crapping on you. Here's the deck just crapping on me. We'll discard the Ghostly Prison, I suppose. Probably should have discarded the Ranger, but we're dead in the water, so. A very cut and dried win here. That 4th land is irrelevant, and we will concede and go to sideboard here. I did like the sideboard plan from last game. I do still like the Hex Parasite, even though we didn't see the Red and 6. It's likely it's there. Sorcerous Spyglass is very strong. Purge is fantastic. And yeah, I think Rip is important here. I do. Elspeth very strong as well. So I like that sideboard plan a lot. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you think I should approach it differently. But I'm feeling pretty good about that sideboard plan here. And then what did I cut last time? What did I cut last time? The 2 prisons. 2 prisons. Down to 1 prison. Yeah, this is a tough matchup. Tougher than I gave it credit for. You know, I thought it was a little, 60-40, but it seems way more 80-20 for them. Maybe even 90-10. Taking a little bit of time to see their hand here. That's okay. We don't mind waiting to die. Yeah, I mean, I think this is keepable. I do like the Spyglass a lot here. Cavern is pretty solid. We'll start with a Mistveil Plains and pass. And that way we can play the Cavern next turn and use it to cast the Martyr. 4 out of 4 discard spells against Jund. They're just really coming correct with the discard spells today. Being able to keep a hand with a turn 1 discard spell every single time. My favorite Inquisition of Kozilek art. They take the Spyglass. So, I guess it was worth bringing in. Really no doubt in my mind about bringing it in, by the way. It's absolutely worth it. And we'll get that Martyr down. And hopefully draw a white card next turn. That way we can play a loaded Serra. If they let us, they might bolt it here or interact with it in some way. Which I wouldn't mind. I would love to see them push it. But they will play a Goyf instead. Gonna take this moment to Field of Ruin their black source. And they get a forest, so I'm guessing they've got a Wrenn 6 in hand. Because that, I was expecting to get the swamp, but... Oh, are they out of lands? Can we just get there because they don't have lands? That would be lovely. I would love to steal a game like that. It makes me regret cutting the Crucible, even though I do think it is the right play. Maybe it's not. Maybe, I take the Rest in Pieces... I put the Rest in Pieces in and I take the Procs out, but I leave the Crucible. That might be a worthwhile play just because they're so light on basics. I can't imagine they don't have a way to get a third land here, though. Yeah. Oh, no. Apparently they don't, because there's a Scavenging Ooze. There it is. I was ready to say, there's no way they don't have the third land. We're going to path that Ooze right away. Actually... yeah, let's path the Ooze. Let's actually do it in response to them cracking the Verdant Catacombs. We will take some pretty significant damage here, but double Ranger feels like a good payoff. Now they will have Lurrus mana. Nothing to cast with the Lurrus yet, other than to get back the Scavenging Ooze, I suppose. Crocs is a bummer. That card's really good. Like, when they printed that card, I was like, oh man, Jund's really good now, and then they gave it Lurrus. Which, poof. The fact that Lurrus and Croxa can run in the same deck, bonkers good. Just ridiculous. Are they going to play the Lurrus here? And then Croxa again? Oh, no, they can't. They got to tap out at some point, I suppose. I'm so used to Lurrus just playing Bobble that I'm like, it's free. It's just, they just play a card for free, because that's how good Lurrus is. How many do they need to escape? 5 other. Alright, we've got a turn then. Or we're screwed. Or we're just completely hosed. Oh no, they can cast it right away. Let's just take some more damage, I suppose. I guess we don't take that much more, because turns out Tarmogoyf gets shrunk when I cast Rest in Peace. Turns out. Okay. 2 cards left in hand, though. So we might be in okay enough shape here. There's the Heliod. So we have a game plan here. We can go. Let's go Martyr, Serra here, and then Hex Parasite Ballista next turn. Like, if we can just survive, we steal this game. Ouch. I guess I'll discard a Martyr. Coming hard, and now they're going to Thoughtseize. No, EE on 1. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's just get land. We'll take it. I think Martyr Ballista is where I'm going to go with this. Ranger actually puts Lurrus in check, so they can only attack with the Goyf unless they want to lose the Lurrus. That sucks. We will end up losing one of the pieces of the puzzle here. Probably the Ballista, but yeah. But we can use Heliod to gain life. We can use Heliod as a life gain effect. And then that happens. So our opponent's down to 0 cards, though. We've got that. Just putting in work. Field of Ruin, so we would have been able to do some fun stuff here. So let's get Heliod down. And then let's get Martyr so that we gain some life and put a counter on Heliod. I would obviously like to put the counter somewhere else, but for now, we will put it on Heliod. Oh, an artifact goes to the graveyard? Does that mean they have lethal? No. Looks like artifact was already in the graveyard because of Walking Ballista. They can just top deck lethal, though. Here's a bolt. Wow, I called that. Tough sledding. But at least I get to walk my dog before trying to close this out with a 3-2. Because 3-2 gets prizes. We'll see you in the next one.